Good evening, everyone. Hope y'all are doing all right. So, yeah, tonight we're gonna do some more game development real quick. Might call a little early, just depends. I'm exhausted. uh, but yeah, we'll definitely get some game development stuff in, and then maybe a little bit of Call of Duty after I get my treasure pack on Apex. Oh, I need to do the hunt still. All right, we'll get it taken care of. But yeah, so yeah, game development. We're gonna do the API development stuff some more today. So specifically, last time we spun up a API server with Go. We were able to handle requests basically and respond with both static text as well as respond with a JSON formatted model object. So that was all working last time. And I was going to continue following the little tutorial that I randomly found to show you guys. I think it goes into some interesting topics around routers and HTTP status codes and all that other good stuff. So we'll work on that, tied into our local database, the MySQL database that we started using. And yeah, we'll go from there. So that's the goal. Let's go ahead and get started. So I think last time we decided to use VS Code. Worked pretty well, I think. I like how this thing constantly recommends me to install the Go extension, but it's already installed. But whatever. Yeah, so to do a high-level recap where we got last time, essentially main is our main function. That's what happens when we run our app. And then we have a few different functions that get handled here. So a router is essentially a HTTP router. It tells where to route traffic, essentially, when it comes into the HTTP listener. So it just configures a router. Then we have here a few different things which basically set up a route and a handler function. So first one is just the root, and then it hands it off to this index function. Then /todos hands it off to the to-do index function, and then this to-do show hands it off to the to-do show function. And this one has a URL parameter, or it's basically a parameter in the URL itself, and so that value can actually be read out of the vars field, which is on which you can get from the request itself. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. So we can run this maybe, yeah. So we run that. Boop. Now it's running. I guess I left off the final piece of this last call right here is basically making a call to HTTP listen and serve. That starts up an HTTP server on a particular port, and then it takes a HTTP handler, which is what we initialize with the router up top. So we have on localhost 8080 HTTP port or HTTP server that we can issue requests to. So we can do localhost 8080. So the root will give us, welcome, which is what we would expect right here. And then we can do, /todos. This is the one that we changed to use a JSON. Basically it returns a model, but it serializes that out as JSON. So that's what we're doing here. And then I think there is the last one, which is, and that one just takes the parameter and prints it at the end of the to-do show. Right, so pretty straightforward. And then this is the URL of the, kind of tutorial thing that I was starting with. It's pretty good so far. He splits some of the logic, which makes sense, but for us right now, I don't think it matters too much. But yeah, we can go through this process. He essentially, I could explain the reasoning for it with the folder structure. So we have a main, which is essentially what he's talking about doing here. He creates another one for the router. So he actually created to-do.go, which I already did. So he has a handlers and a routes. Routes.go and handler. Is it handlers? Oh, it is. All right, so yeah, so handlers, he just, moved the methods that he was handling the functionality with. So that's pretty common, right? So he would have, these are the handler functions, so you can extract those out into a separate file. And then in the main.go, you can get rid of them. And then the routes is a little bit more complicated. He defines a custom struct. I can walk through what he's doing here. So in here, there's basically a route struct. That just lets him define common things, right? Such as a name, a method. That's the HTTP method. So whether it's a get, a put, a delete, a patch, whatever. You can define that here. Although I'm surprised he didn't do, I think there's, let's see. I think there's a standard HTTP. Is there not an HTTP method? Okay, maybe that's why I didn't do it. Well, so that's fine. And then just a handler function, and the pattern is the URL essentially that's going to be handled as part of that route. And then he defines a routes, which is basically a slice of route objects. And then you define a function that just, instantiates a new router based on whatever we define in this actual file. So it's very similar to what we had before. He just extracts out the route into a separate thing and then makes it nice and pretty down here. To where you can just, when you want to add a new route, you just copy and add it. And then you have pretty clear definition of your routes. And then apparently they support builder methods on the router itself. So he's basically doing a router dot, set the particular method, set the path, set the name, and set the handler function. And that will instantiate that route and add it to the router. So that's pretty straightforward. And then the last one I think is pretty easy, actually. Yeah, he just eliminates a lot of stuff out of the main.go function here. So he just does new.router. We no longer need this. And that's it. It should function the same. Bum, bum, bum. So now, this should work. Yeah, this actually reverted back because I actually made changes after. And yeah, so that all still seems to work fine. And I don't think I'm gonna bother with adding logging to the HTTP requests. Hey, he does do database stuff. Okay. Oop. So yeah, this digs in a little bit to what we were talking about doing, which is create a way to This one's using to-dos. We actually can probably change this. Let's just change this to be more fitting to what our use case was. So, like if we just, we're gonna call this, before we were working with, you know, to-dos. Now we're just gonna use score. So this will be score, scores, and there will be a name, and instead of completed, it will be, it not be completed, it will be score. And I'm just gonna call it uint64, and we'll copy paste. Boom. So instead of doing to-dos, we're gonna do a leaderboard type thing. So we'll have to kind of follow his direction on his on that page. So what we can do now is do, you know, we won't call it to do index, we'll do score, like show scores. All right, and then doop. We'll do a show score. And this will be scores, and then score ID, something like that. All right, and then we would have a handler function in here. Show scores, and show score. Show scores would not need this. We need to find some temp scores, and we'll do just gonna fill out some dummy data. So and date, time.now or something. All right, we'll just add 2 scores. Okay, that'll show that list of scores, and then we'll just do score and then score ID. We'll just print the score ID directly, just like very similar to what we did before. Apparently I don't follow naming conventions. I didn't know this. Stop yelling at me. Yeah, actually all of these don't have to be exported. It's mad because I don't have a comment, which is fine. I mean, that's... Alright, so let's give that a try. Okay, so this should still work. Then we can do, scores. So that is what happens when you directly print JSON and you don't actually format it correctly, which is I think what we need to do here. like this. Restart. All right, so there we go. It still uses do, which is do as the tag. You'll notice, right? Like that's weird. That's wrong. And that's because we didn't update it here. What if it lets you like fix it? Doesn't look like it. All right. Restart it. All right. Now it's better. And then if we do scores slash, you know, A, B, C, D, it'll do that. And I think the way this will go is it's going to take an ID to actually do the lookups in the database. Interesting naming scheme that they go with for this one. Maybe it's just is what it is. I saw repro and I'm like, what's he trying to reproduce? But he used a repo, like data repo or, you know, git repo. Oh, he just like fibs it. He doesn't actually talk to a database. All right, so that's fine. What we'll do is we're gonna yoink this and replace it with actual DB calls. So what we can do is new repo.go, right? And of course this copies line numbers, because why not? I don't think we need current ID, but we'll worry about that. We are not gonna give it seed data, so that's fine. We don't need this because actually, let's just do like a replace. Yes. Let's do okay. Probably messed some stuff up because I didn't use the right score, right? Yes. I need to save it. Undeclared name score. Done. Oh. Stop this thing. All right, so I haven't manually connected to a DB before, so let's should be pretty straightforward though. It's probably built-in connection pooling. That's a little excessive for what we're doing. All right, so yeah. We'll do this in the init, I think. Yeah, this will be fine. Can't remember if there's a corresponding like deconstruction method, something like so there's a init for Golang, but is there also like a destroy Golang? without knowing the name, it's like you have a hell of a time trying to figure it out. Apparently I got a text message. I heard it through my mic and then back into my headphones. That was not a message. All right, so open gives back SQL DB. So have DB, db.sql. SQL.db. There's several convenience packages out there to improve the usage of using the way you use a DB in Go. So what did I call that thing? Workbench? Not Workbench. Well, Workbench is what it's called. I'm trying to figure out what the name of my database is. Planner, apparently. So that's what you put on the end here. So to explain kind of what this is, it's basically just saying open a connection to it's going to be a MySQL database, so it knows like how to talk to it, because this is general. It doesn't know, like, you could use it to connect to Postgres, you could use it to connect to, MongoDB, maybe. Probably not, because it's not a SQL. Any kind of SQL database. So I'm just saying I'm connecting to MySQL, and then the connection string or data source name over here is like specifically formatted. So it's like username, which I'm using root by default. Password is my super secret password. Listing on TCP based protocol, and then URL for it, which is localhost 3306 was the default. And you would, if you are paying attention, that's actually what's over here in this configuration. By default, it's localhost 3306. And then the slash, and then whatever schema you want to connect to when you open up the connection. So, yeah, pretty standard stuff. Still confused why it doesn't like score. It's in the same package. Score, right there. And it's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe it's just because some other problem. Wait, what the hell? I don't know the command to actually control plus slash. Wait, what? Kinda. Oh, Jesus. That is whack. Shift Alt A. That apparently has... It's a terrible key combination they chose there, because Control Plus also does zoom in, zoom out. So every time I did that, it zoomed in more. If you do Shift Alt A, does a block comment? What the hell? Let's do this. This is unlike any other like bulk. Here, do that. Jesus. I guess I'm just too used to using IntelliJ. Maybe that's what it's complaining about. Let's see. How did I do this last time? I remember going through this. I think I remember. Now I have the chance to actually figure out which it was, though. Okay, so I think I tried this last time. So just, you know. Oh, I did not. I can't copy and paste. That just seems. Oh, I right click. Bold. All right, I remember this. That looks correct. Okay. One more attempt here. Nope. I don't think that works. That looked promising. It took a second to do something. What the heck is that? Okay. Apparently I can right click and add it, so that's easy. And here's some little Go stuff. If you're more familiar with Java or C# or anything like that, you can do pointers in Go, dereference pointers. Most of the time, if you have a pointer to an object, you don't actually have to manually dereference it. Just calling a method on it will tell Go to automatically dereference it, which is pretty cool. But you can get into situations where that'll cause a nil pointer. And you can actually call methods, receiver functions, on a nil object if the receiver is on a pointer to something. So, which is like mind-blowing and will F you over probably more frequent than not. So like, for example, let's say you had a function here that's like, you know, for a pointer to a score, do something, right? I don't know what that is. But like M, for example, is a pointer to something, but M can actually be nil. So there's no it won't actually dereference the thing prior to calling this receiver. So you can actually do stuff in here, and you actually do need to make sure you do some shit in here. So like this. Like, you can think of a receiver function. Hey, what's up, man? Object reference not set to an instance of an object. It does exist. You can still get. It's actually what they call it a nil pointer, which is basically like you try to call an object that's nil. But the weird part in most programming languages, right? So what this is saying is that on a score pointer, you can call do something, right? And like over here, like let's say we instantiate this, right? So like A equals, you know, that. So now you have a pointer. That's a pointer to an object or to a score. Now you can actually call a dot do something, But what's even more whack is you can do this. So B is nil right this second. You can still somehow put a freaking B back there. You can still call B dot do something. And the even better part of that is that won't necessarily blow up. Like, even though B is very, very much nil, and it's not any other object-oriented programming, you try to call this and it'll blow up, right? With that error, which is object reference not set to an instance of an object. Because you can guard yourself against it in here. If they didn't do anything, if they just, like, you know, just did, I don't know, say there's another, I don't know, say you did, you know, if you did this, if you printed the name, that would blow up over here. But if you move it down here, that would not blow up. Now it'll be fine. It's perfectly okay with you having a nil pointer and having a method defined on a nil pointer or on a pointer based object, as long as you handle it appropriately. Cause yeah, so there is a difference, right? Like between these two things. So you'll notice the minor difference. One, this is a function on a pointer to the score, and this is a function on a score object itself. So like over here, you shouldn't be able to do I mean, you can make the call, but now no matter what happens, this is gonna blow up. Because it tries to instantly, the moment it tries to call that method, it has to dereference the pointer. So if that pointer's null, it blows up. While before, there was a possibility of it not blowing up. Hope that makes sense. Honestly, it's amazingly powerful because you can protect yourself really well from things, from stupid things. You just have to be more conscious of things happening. So. But yeah, Go's pretty sweet. Guess I'll leave these here. I don't really care. I'll take these away. But yeah, so that's a little bit of a pointer and receiver functions in Go. Okay, so now what we have to do, I'm gonna rename this to score repo, and then I'm gonna replicate this over here. I actually don't know if I need this, but I'm gonna do it anyways, just because. Okay. Really wish I could. I need to figure out how to turn that warning garbage off. Yeah, let me close these. So the idea behind this now is that this maps to a database table, which I haven't created yet. But let's go ahead and start this. This may actually not matter, because I don't think I'm going to get into writing or pulling in an ORM, which is I think it's object relational mapping. Might be. I think that's what it is. I'm questioning myself. Yeah, called it. But Yeah, basically an RM is like you run a query on a table, and then but you use in classes and stuff. You're basically just like, hey, give me the, in this case, give me the score with this ID. And it's like, yeah, sure, I'll give you the score with this ID. And it just like does the query. It takes the object here, this DB here, builds the query based on the parameters that you provided, pulls that data, takes that data, maps it back onto the object, and you get the object back. So you almost never work with SQL, raw SQL. There's positives and negatives that. Mostly the negatives are you don't have as much control about the performance of those queries, because usually those are built dynamically based on filtering and, you know, what you're asking from the RM system. So sometimes you can run into performance issues. They can be dealt with, but it can get you sometimes. Usually the biggest downside is that you can get into a massive fan out. In other words, like, say, I'm trying to think of an example. So let's say score had a player, and then the player like had and it's stored in, and score is stored in one table, player is stored in a different table, and then that player object has, like, I don't know, like all the games they play, right? And then the scores they have for all those games, and all that stuff stored in separate tables. If you basically set up the RM to link all those together, which is cool and fine, and then you say, hey, give me the scores, it can fan out from, you know, you're really asking ORM for one thing, which is, hey, give me the scores. But what ends up happening is it will do one of two things depending on the ORM. It'll either run individual queries for each subtable, for every row. So it'll run the first query for the scores, then it'll get the IDs of the players that it needs to look up, and then it'll take those IDs and it'll query the player table and pull all the players back, and then it'll get all the player IDs, and then it'll take that to run to get, you know, all the games that those players have played, and then it'll take those games and look up all the scores for those games. And so you end up getting this like fan out of, like, you ask it for one thing, but it actually runs 50 queries in the back end and takes forever as you get bigger data sets. So that's the downside of ORMs, generally speaking. But they're usually not too bad for some simple case such as this. So the good thing about what just happened, I kind of didn't really say much about it, but it successfully connected to the database. So this panic will basically bring the app down if it fails. Actually, when you call panic, it basically stops the execution of the app. So it'll bring your application down. So if it doesn't appear there was an error, so it didn't bring the app down, and therefore we made a successful connection to the DB. So what we can do here is now, like, I don't think I've ever really used the actual DB, the old DB. Okay. Yeah. This is very much in line with what I've used, actually. So in this case, you know, you would do an insert into, you know, scores, and you would do name. ID will be auto incremented, so you just need the name, the score. Actually, these are lowercase. And this is what the ORM saves you. You don't have to write this code, essentially. Name, score, and date. And I think you do like this. This is always fun. I think it's question marks is the parameters. And then it takes the args. And the args are essentially what you're wanting to do. So it'll be t.name, t.score, t.date. I'm kind of curious if it's gonna be okay with that or not. All right, and then it should return, you know, the result in the error if there was any. And then we'll do this. You know, if error not equals to nil. Oh, I wonder if I can just do now. Is that a thing? I can't remember. We have to do. What's the current date time for MySQL? Current time. Now returns. Is that a date time? Yeah, it seems to be date time. Current time is probably just the time. Yeah. So when we make the table, we just need to make sure the date table column, the date column in the table is the date time. Yeah. Does get date work? Get date gives you the current date. Is that it? Oh, it's just date. Oh wait, no, never mind. That's a way to extract the date. They have way more functions than I thought there were. Cur date, yeah. Yeah, I saw the cur time, which is basically a short version of current time. Yeah, so now is what we would prefer, I think. So this is generally what you end up doing, is you end up returning two variables. Another great thing about Go, not a lot of languages support this, but support returning more than one value. Okay, so T dot, you know, oh, it's T dot. Did I not add ID? Oh, these are not, okay. There's a score record versus a score, two separate things. Which that's always something I've recommended. If you think about an API, like from a usability standpoint, there's like 3 different models of the same thing as it transitions through the system, right? Hey, Grandma, thanks for the like. There's the object that comes in through the API itself, which is like, in my opinion, the transit model, right? It's the model that's representative of that data external to my system, right? And then there is an internal model, which is the model that is used internally within my system to do a lot of like business logic, right? And then there's the third level, which is like the data that gets written to the database, and that's the database model, obviously. And it should map almost directly to the database columns and all that other good stuff. And the way I structure it that way, because of the fact that like they may each have things that are in addition or less than some other area. Like for example, the ID, right? The auto-generated ID on a score record is probably not relevant. You generally don't expose row IDs, like auto-generated row IDs, externally, because if you ever have to like reshard or put that on a different database that then gets the IDs regenerated, that ID may not be the same anymore. So what you would generally want is like a token that's generated, that's unique, guaranteed to be unique, that you use to reference it externally to the system. So you have your row ID, that's the internal, and you have a token that's generated that you use externally as the ID or token that you reference. So yeah, and usually the external facing models are more restricted in nature, right? Like you may have stuff internally in the database that you don't want to expose out. That almost always happens. So that's what I would highly recommend if you ever do any kind of like full API development end to end. And right now you'll notice we have two different kinds. Yeah, SQL injection is pretty much not even a concern much anymore. That's what this is doing. So you notice like I didn't put the name directly in here and the score directly in here. This exec function, the args are for placeholder parameters in the query, and it does a parameterized query, and then it's the actual database, itself that I think evaluates that query and builds it appropriately. So it's not subjected to, or it's not vulnerable to SQL injection. Yeah, as long as you do this, where you do a parameterized query. If you just do exec and you don't provide any parameters and you like build these values directly into this query, then you're kind of setting yourself up for potential issues. Like you could imagine I could just like inline this, right? Right, that's one option, but that is exactly how you get effed with a SQL query or SQL injection, right? Because somebody could enter a name of like, a name of close bracket, semicolon, drop tables or drop table, scores or something. That could be their name, right? And then you would be pretty much effed. So that's why you don't do this. I was looking at these exec. What's db.query? Okay. Yes, like that. So exec is more for like inserts, deletes, updates, etc., where there's data not returned. So I'm debating what we could do here. So a good thing is to like make sure that it worked, basically. Oh, really? Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know you had to like call it, basically. Another little tip I would suggest if you ever get into Go. You notice I return a pointer to something? I could just do like not a pointer. The problem with that is then anytime you do this return error, you have to like construct a little, I guess you could do like this, right? Something. No, you can't do that. You end up having to like fib one of the parameters because you're just trying to return the error back. So I tend to err on using using a pointer so you can just return nil, and it's cleaner. I think I gotta do this. Untyped string. What? Maybe I just haven't saved. Okay. It's weird. Well, get it back to it. Also, I generally just take a pointer to most everything just because it's easier. Yeah. Can I convert wrong number, blah, 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 untyped string constant to int64? What's this thing talking about? This is a format, so I need to do this. Maybe it's because I know why I was mad. Because I did the concatenation. It was not fond of me doing the concatenation, which is fine. I forgot this was a format. Almost all the ones that have like something and then an F on the end, that just means it supports formatting of some sort. So, so we basically created we created a create score. So now what we can do is go to, I think, the routes. Let's just do, because I don't have anything set up right now. Like, right? All right, then we'll go to the handlers. We'll create a create score. So we'll have a name, which is the name. Makes sense. The score equals, vars score. And I think there's a I can't ever remember. Is it? I can't remember the conversion. They have some stuff built in. So Golang string to int strconv dope. Just okay. It's .ao. Ew. It's like not working. So parse int. Maybe it's mad because the score and the name. All right, and then we will call repo. Create score. Nope, that's not what I wanted. I think parse int actually returns an error too. It would help if they'd let me. $1064. Guess that's so parse int bit size. So we do we'll do a new score, and we can do, you know, score name equals name, score equals score. So yeah, in the case there's an error, you can actually just do, so I think we talked about this before. Maybe I have it somewhere up here. Nope. All right, well, response writer, so you can do like header. You write header. Like HTTP status. Like the IntelliSense stuff is just absolutely garbled now. I'm trying to figure out why. Okay. That one seems to be happy now. Don't know why. Is that really the right one? There's a parse event. That's what it's mad about. I think it's repo. And this was what I was talking about before. I don't really care about the response object. All I care about is if there's an error. And you know, you can shortline this. You know, and then you can do, you know, I don't know if that'll work, but it'll be worth a try. It's probably mad because it can't serialize that, I guess. I think there's a dot. Nope. See if this dude just panics. Oh God, stop the pain. He just panics. Okay. Well, it's not not ideal. I think we can try it without it. It's fine. This thing's just making shit up. Alright, I'm gonna run this. I know it's gonna fail though, so don't be too surprised. So we should be able to go to, you know, the routes here. This thing's all up in the way. Slash create score, name and score. $400. See if we can debug this thing. Let's do handlers. Got him. All right, so it pulled out. It's got the score. That's where I would expect it to blow up. We have an error, data, GitHub. Man, this is hard to read. Table planner.scores doesn't exist. Easy. All right, and this. I named it bad. It shouldn't have been. Shouldn't have been a bad request. That's not their fault. Okay. So if I do w.write, is there anything? Oh. Interesting. So write takes what? Like this thing's absolutely borked ever since. I don't know what I did to it, but it's not happy. I can't click through shit anymore. Make me work like a savage. Can I peek it? God has no fucking idea what's going on. Okay. It's all good. So now what we need to do is create a table. Just see if we can, you know, create some stuff in it. So we go into our little thing here, create table. What we're gonna do is add ID. It's gonna be int public key not null unique. I almost never do this. In this terrible UI. Don't save. It's like so much easier just to write the SQL query. Like, I know, right? It was horrible. Because all I have to do is do this. Auto increment. Done. They probably got some normal table down here. The hell kind of table is that? Storage? Storage disk? This is essentially like, dang it. Like our table is like 4 columns. So it's create table, you know, scores. And there's name, int, not null, or no, actually it's ID, int, not null, increment, primary key. Am I missing something? It's like some kind of weird. Oh, you know what I need? I need to go to like W3 or this one. This will work. Yeah. See, like this. This is so. Ah, I forgot the. I know I forgot the. No, dang it. I hate when you accidentally hit Control C when you're trying to paste it, and then you lose what you just copied. So ID not null, blah 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 blah. And then name, varchar not null, score, which is uint. Is uint's not a thing? I think it's int unsigned or something like that. Int, you know. I don't think I need to. Unsigned not null, and then date, and we can do the date time. Yeah, it's not happy about date. You have to surround it with those little quote things. Same with name, I think. So when all else fails, just surround everything in it, and you'll be fine. All right, that's super hard to read. Oh, look, I can zoom. Fantastic. So yeah, ID, name, score, date, blah. We can do default now. I wonder if you can do that. Can you do that? Hope so. I don't need to save it. Run. No database selected. Trying to think how I selected database or. Wait a minute. Select the default DB to be used by double-clicking its name in the schemas list. Double-click. Oh, look at that shit. It worked. And then down at the bottom says 0 rows affected. Successful. So we should be able to refresh. Boom, scores. Columns, ID, name, score, date. Easy peasy. All right, so the table's there. Now, moment of truth, y'all. We're gonna start this again. It's running. It didn't blow up, so it's not a good, all right. There it is. It worked. What we may want to do, I don't think it's useful to look it up by ID or whatever, right? What we really want to do is maybe look up by name. I don't know. Really, you want to look up by score, ordered by score, which is probably what we'll do with the other. So if we stop this, oh man, I just closed the routes. There's this routes one. There's get scores. So that one should be super easy. Basically, oh, they got find score, but they don't have a give me all scores. So this one's gonna basically want to get all the scores. So select, and actually this is gonna be, we're gonna do query at most one row. We don't want that. So we want query. The query is gonna be, you know, select. All we care about is the name, score, date from scores. That's it. We don't have any query parameters. So that's going to return rows. And I think what I'm going to have to do is right, and then for this is another cool thing that's built into Go. So you can do like a for loop over a range of things. So I actually don't know. I may have to do. I wonder if you can do multiple tags. All right, we may be able to. All right, maybe. I got an idea, y'all. I didn't know this was built in because we use something else at work. So what you can do is do a scan, and then you can basically give it a destination, which is the score. Score records. And so it will be like if error not equal to nil, then we return nil error. Can't remember. I may have to give a pointer to the slice or give it the slice itself. Maybe do like this, which gives it each entry. Yeah, I don't think that's the way. I think that's it. We'll find out. All right. But yeah, then I'll show you what I was doing is what essentially we'll end up doing is scores equal, we'll make a slice of score that is the length of score records, and then for each of the score record in score records, you know, I want to convert. And this is something you can, this is where a receiver method is pretty cool. So like for, what's up, Trevor? Appreciate the like. Like for example, we can write a little quick function here that is for the score record itself, and maybe it returns a score. Yo, yo. Do, do, do. Oh, I think it's actually... Oh, forgot the name of the method. You are accurate, Trev. It is, in fact, a bunch of letters and numbers. But they actually do mean something, surprisingly enough. You get to live in the life of my day-to-day right now. Actually, this is less of my day-to-day now, but used to be my day-to-day. All right, and then yeah, it is pretty much a different language. And then what we can do here is get an index. So scores, you know, index equals score record dot to score. And then we return a scores. This is almost certainly not going to work first try, but we're going to give it a try. Anyways, so let's get her going. Probably going to create another one as well, another entry. We'll use Trev since he's here. All right, that'll create it, and then show scores. I don't remember what it's called. It's the URL. Routes. Oh, it's just scores. Duh. Oh, I need to change the function to actually. So show score currently. Handler for show score just does exactly what it feels like doing. So it would actually be scores and error equal, you know, repo get scores or something. Repo this. We checked for an error, and we'll do this. Basically, we messed something up, and then scores should be this. We can get rid of the temp. All right, now let's try it. Now it's actually going to call the code that I thought I was going to call. And we'll see what happens. Boom, 500. Fantastic. Called it, y'all. Okay, so we can set the breakpoint, reload. Okay, so rows. We got, it didn't, I don't think it blew up. No, it didn't blow up. Now it's gonna complain. Yes. Error string. Scan called with attention without calling next. Oh. It only scans a single record at a time. What? Okay. Oh shit. So apparently I need to call. Okay. So I think what you do is while rows dot next. I think that's. Oh, I'm not supposed to use. What? That's ridiculously huge. Yeah, as I thought. So secret message. There is no while loop in Go, which is fucking crazy, but it is what it is. All right, now what we can do. What's the I need to look up what next result set is versus. Let's look up. This thing returns a rows. Okay, so there's a result set. Wait, driver rows. This is kind of insane. Every call to scan, even the first one, must be preceded by a call to next. Good to know, good to know. I want to know about the next result set. That's weird. All right, well. Okay, so we essentially have to do that, and then, you know, you have a var that is a rec. And then it'll be something like this, maybe. It's just weird that you can give it, like, scan takes a. Oh, geez. I don't think it can do a. I don't think it can convert to a to an actual object. Let's just do a quick Golang scan SQL example. Scan into struct. What the hell is this? Syntax. In a different database or something? Oh god, that's horrid. You have to pass. This is what I thought. You have to pass each field. Oh no. You gotta pass. Okay. Alright, so that's brutal. But we're gonna do it. So yeah, you essentially instantiate a score record, and then you hand it, you know, record dot name record dot score. I'm gonna be very surprised if this works. I don't think you can. I guess you can just give them references. Should be fine. If that works, then I would assume we do score records equals append score records and the new record. Nothing too crazy. I started down implementing the get scores. So right now we have it so it puts data into the database now. So like if you hit a specific endpoint, like slash create score slash name slash score, it'll actually create an entry in the database table. So that worked fine. Now I'm trying to make it so that when you go to slash scores, it gives you all the database table rows out of the database. The problem is I thought the scan function worked one way and it functions a different way. So I'm changing this to use the actual way. You have to call next first, which preps the row of data first, and then when you call scan, that essentially scans a column into a field. So you pass in each column for each field that you scanned for or you selected for above. So we'll see how it goes. I think it'll work. Who knows? I'm gonna go ahead and set the breakpoint. All right, so I don't need that one. Dude. All right. Wait, what the hell, algebra? Wait, what? I don't know what happened. Okay. Okay, I did not like reading. I'm gonna go ahead and guess. Yeah, and that's pretty straightforward to fix with this query. All I have to do is order by score descending limit 10, and I'm done. So yeah, we can already do that now. Yeah, so that does exactly what you just said. Let's see what this error. Scan error on column. I am assuming is the date. Yeah, unsupported scan. Ugh. I can't scan to a date time. Maybe it can scan to a string? I'm gonna try that. And then, now. Wonder if we even need. I'm just gonna leave this off just to see if we can get past the first hurdle here. So restart the server. Should be good to go. Oh, it worked. Wait. Did it? That was fast. Yeah, so if we do like create score, Luke, you know, 200, 2000, 20, test, 10. Okay, so how many do we have? We've got 9. Of course. I was so close. I guess it doesn't matter, right? So you can see it's ordered, and what we can do on the coding side. We'll do the top 5, just so I don't have to keep creating. Okay, now if we refresh, it's the top 5. Easy peasy. What we could do, all right, I got an even cooler thing here. And I actually don't know if it's possible. So it's, let's do this. We're gonna try to parameterize the limit to this call. Let's stop this thing. And so we'll do, you know, limit int, and, you know, if limit equal, I got so used to C#, limit equals, you know, nil, then we'll set limit to, you know, 10 or something. Yeah. Classic. So it has to be a pointer, so you have to have a memory location. You can't do a constant, so, or you can't do like a constant variable like that. So we have to do essentially default limit equals 10, which is technically also constant, but I think you can do this maybe. Nope, it's still not. Yeah, I think it's got to do I think it has to be a var, because then it gets allocated. Yeah. I think it's because of where the constants are allocated. I think they're allocated somewhere where you don't get access to the memory locations or some shit. I don't know. Either the stack or the heap. Can't remember. Not important. Yeah, so now over in the handlers, what we can do here is so I wonder if you can get I would like to be able to do a query param. So, what the hell is this thing that I'm using? This mutex, this thing. A query param, if you don't know, is like you would do scores and you do like question mark limit equals 10. And the idea is that you would be able to say like specify the limit. Examples. They have query parameters. Examples are right here. That was pretty quick. Query values. Wait, what? Maybe that's just what they refer to them as. So maybe let's looks like they call them queries. But that looks like a new router, right? That's not right. I don't want a new router. Can I just get query parameters, please? Do. Yeah. Ah. Interesting. I'll use. Okay. All right. I got it. You have to specify like that it's an acceptable query parameter as part of the, route. So like here. So we would have like route query. Seems asinine to. I'm just gonna support one. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm sticking to it. Yeah. Query param string. Cool. Then down here, let's just be this maybe. You're gonna make me do this for reals? Oh, I can't do it. Oh, this is terrible. Let's see. Trying to generalize this is just annoying. All right, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it the right way. So what would you have? You'd have a query param here that is a struct that has a, key and the, I guess it could just be name, right? You have the name and then the, is that what they're calling it basically? Seems, I mean, I'm generalizing it to a single. Yeah, the real problem is the way that they set up the queries down here. And like this returns a route. Is that like the terminal? Oh, no. Okay, so these are just chained off of each other. So what we could do is just, you know, do this. And then, you know, if route dot query param not equal to nil, then we do the separate thing, right? Where we would do route dot queries. Oh, this is way more excessive than I thought it was going to be. It's a new route. And then we do okay, I think there's a lot of unknowns right now. quite a bit of them. So yeah. So then we do down at the routes here for this one, which is show scores. We would do what is a string? The annoying part is because it's inlined, it's hard to get a pointer to something that's constant. So like I can't just do, for example, limit. At least I don't think. And it's gonna be funny if this makes me a liar. This is also the downside of the way they did this. And they being, you know, the ones that basically me. This is depending on ordering. So it's generally not a good idea. This thing's so angry. Yeah, so the reason these are angry is because it's depending on the order of the variables to try to initialize them, where if you give them names, it's better. It actually knows what the hell you're talking about. Alright, grunt work time. This is why you just always do this at the beginning. You don't have to worry about this. This also allows you to do it in different ordering than the way the parameters are set up in the function, not the function, in the struct definition. This you have to basically follow the exact ordering because it's depending on the ordering and the type matching to be able to do the matching, the variable setting. All this to be able to show that I'm not going to be able to get away with just a So limit is a string, so you need to take a string variable and convert it to a pointer variable. So one thing that I've seen, I don't know if they have a common version of this. like a implement, like a standard one. I think the safe way to do this is, you know, make a local copy and then return the address to the local one. And then you can do this. Easy peasy. And now it's all fine. Oh yeah, I don't. All right, so let's try this again. And calm yourself. Jeez. It's very aggressive. Okay, so this so vars is a map of strings to strings. With a var, you can actually do, or with a map, you can do a lookup like this, and it actually returns two values. It can return one, and if you return one, it just returns back what it found. If you do two, it returns what it found as well as like whether it was able to find it. This would be like basically this. So then you can make a little bit more intelligent decisions, but let me try something first before I go down that route. I think I can get away with this because it'll be nil. So if, you know, limit, actually it can't be nil. So it'll probably blow up, or give me a 0 value, which is, okay, I've decided it's worth it. So if it doesn't find it, then what we have here is we want to set a limit. What we can do is default limit equals. All right. If it's not found, so if it is found, we just want to set the final limit equal the limit. Oh, we have to convert it. Oh, good times. So limit, this is actually limit stir, which is a string, and then so we'll do limit air equals conf parse int. And then we pass in the limit stir 1064, boom. If air not equal to nil, then we return, do this. Should we do bad request? It's more fitting because they gave us a garbage limit. Yeah, and then assuming that works, then we just set the limit here. That's the way you can force a type. So int is different than int64, and int64 is different than uint. So you have to, sometimes you have to be very explicit about types. So like now this I think takes ints, yeah. But it also takes an int64. Let's do this. Should always expect a limit now. Okay. Do the query. What's up, Dwayne? Hope you're having a good night. Alright, all that to be able to modify the query limit in here. So if I don't specify a limit, let's just make sure. Oh, maybe it only lets you do. That's kind of lame. Okay. We can set up a breakpoint here, because that's garbage. All right, so it happens before there. Classic. So probably in the handler, if I had to guess, like here. Boop, boop. Final limit set to 10. How the hell is that an error? Oh, did I type that? Classic. All right, so this works now. I'm irritated that it doesn't let you not specify a query limit. So a way to handle that, which is, it just seems obnoxious that I have to come down here. Right, I essentially have to replicate it without the limit. That's kind of dumb. So now the show scores. What should happen is this will not find it. So they can both route through the same method, but I just have to replicate the router. So basically say, if it has a limit query parameter, then send it here. But also if it doesn't have a query parameter, send it here. Like what? Kind of garbage. Garbage. Alright, so that's what? 1, 2, 3. Oh, I can just do this. So 9 items. And I can also do limit pick 3. 3 items. And a limit like 300. 9 items. Alrighty. The date's wrong, but you know. Yeah, so the red dot next to the line number is a breakpoint. So what'll happen, and I can show you, yeah, it's see if I can get this, move this over here. So the little red dot is just a breakpoint. And so when you load it, you see it's flashing. So it's basically stopped the code right there. And it hasn't executed this line yet. And so you can look on the left-hand side here. There's all kinds of stuff about what's happening. There's variables, watch, and call stack. So I can talk about each one of these individually. So variables are essentially what's in memory at this particular moment in time while your application is running. So global are like global variables that were initialized as part of your application. So you'll see a couple things, routes. So these are the routes that were instantiated as part of this here. So you'll see, so it's actually this variable. So this route, you know, main.route, the 0th entry should be this one, right? So this actual data here. So index get slash no query parameter and the handler function. So that's a global variable because it's just like, it's a var. So it's not scoped to any kind of method or anything. Same with DB. DB's a var that I hold in the score repo up at the top here. So that's global as well. Init task is like a runtime thing for Go. And then default limit is also not scoped anywhere. So it's a global variable. Then there's local, and local is just like where we stopped, where the code was stopped, which is over here. So local is what are the variables in the context of this function. So in this function, what can it actually see? It can only see a few minor things. One is the two of them, which are these top two, are the two variables that are passed in as a parameter to the function. So those are naturally, you know, scoped to the function. And so they're shown here, W and R. Then there's vars. Vars hasn't been initialized yet. So it's nothing. But it's technically there to be initialized in a moment. And then, so that's the variables. You'll see, and I can show you like what this looks like. You can expand these and see like the data underneath them if you're interested, which is what I was doing earlier. Watch is basically, you can just, if there's a variable you're interested in and you don't want to have to like hunt for it, you can just add it to the watch. So like, so you have a good reference to it. So like usually you can right click over here. So like if maybe you're curious how the DB is going to change over time or something. Oh wait, no, you can't do global values? Okay, that's weird. Okay, I know you can do it with local variables. So you can right click and do add to watch, and then it'll keep this over here so you can like just, you know, track it if you're interested in what's happening. Call stack is basically the, you know, it's the stack how you got here. So show scores is actually called, it's a handler function in handlers.go. And that was called from somewhere else, right? Like some request comes in the HTTP handler that then like checks the route to figure out where it needs to go, and then it ultimately gets to this function. You can actually see the sequence of calls of how we got here through the call stack. So this is us right here, main.showScores. That's the showScores function here, and we're on line 40, right, which is over here. But you can see the call stack. It started up here, which is like super low level. There's an HTTP serve connection, which is what listens for connections to our HTTP server. Then there's here, this is like once it gets the request, it basically looks up the handler and calls it with the request object and the response writer. And then there's just this is the actual implementation. That's the Gorilla Mux implementation we have that routes the traffic correctly. and then ultimately it just calls our handler function with those variables, which our handler function is the show scores. So so yeah, that's the call stack. You can just see how you got to where you're at, as well as like if you set your breakpoint like way further down in the call flow, like maybe at the database level, for example, and we can hey mom, how's it going? But then you can see like how you got to DB call. So and I can show you when we get to the DB side. So, but now you can just step through this. So like you hit F10, it just like steps to the next level, the next thing. So you'll notice it filled in the vars variable because it executed this line. It's started to execute this line. That's why there's a final limit variable. Like it allocated the memory for that, but it hasn't actually set the value yet. That's why it's some ridiculous number, right? Default limit is not, 8,808,000. It's actually 10. So what it does is actually allocates memory for final limit first, and then after it executes that line, it sets it to 10. Same with here, right? So like Go just allocated memory for the found variable. Should also have been, yeah, it also allocated memory for this. That's why you got garbage data. Like limit string, like this just happens to be what's sitting in the memory where it said it's going to put that variable. So you get this gobbledygook garbage, and the default value for a boolean is false. So it tries to look that up, then it sets the variables and then parses it. But you can just continue seeing like, yeah, it's basically like it's taking random pieces of ones and zeros and trying to render ASCII characters, but what ends up happening is it just ends up in like non-ASCII character land, and so you get those weird symbols and stuff because it's like, I don't know, this is a weird character that's not usually ASCII or not in the ASCII range, so I'm just going to render some weird garbage number or icon or something. Okay. Yeah, you can step through this and see what the values are. It helps you figure out like what the hell is going wrong. But like if we step into rep repo, get scores, and like do this, and I'll even step down into this one down here. So, oh geez. You also notice the watch that I added. It can't evaluate the function anymore. That's because I set it in a different local. Like I was up one method, so like it can no longer evaluate this. So that's pretty standard if you set something that's like not standardly available. Yeah, no problem. Hopefully I'll get here. So yeah, so now if we step into this 2 score, so now let's look at the call stack. This makes the call stack way more interesting. So you'll see there's like 3 of our methods, right? So the first, and you can actually go back to where the original, like we're essentially stepping into code, right? When you make a function call, what happens is that function call gets pushed onto the stack, and like all your variables get initialized for in that local space, and then you execute that code in the stack. And so that's why if you're at least passively familiar with coding and the stack, you can get Stack Overflow, for example. Yeah, Stack Overflow is actually a thing, right? Like if you do a recursive function that doesn't end, for example, that keeps calling different function methods, what you'll eventually get is a Stack Overflow, and that is essentially you've called too many methods and you've overflowed the section of memory that they allocated for the stack, which is, depending on the OS, depending on the the programmer that you're running, is different sizes, but that's where Stack Overflow comes from. Is like if you just like do a recursive call that doesn't end, you will eventually overflow. I may be able to actually like reproduce that really easily. Um, but anyways, so like the call stack down here, you'll see show scores is where it's, it depends. If you do a recursive function that makes a lot of other function calls and just like keeps recursively calling, recursion is really the only place that it happens. I'd be very surprised seeing it anywhere else. Common use cases is like maybe iterating down a tree or something. Like if you're trying to search down a tree or something like that, if you do a recursive way to do that and you're not careful about how you do your method calls, then you'll end up, you know, overflowing stack. Stack's pretty huge though, so usually you're pretty good, and if you're overflowing, then you usually did something wrong. But yeah, so you see we started at show scores, that's where we started, and then you'll see the green, that's where it went into the next function call, which is repo get scores, and that's the next call in the call stack. And then in repo get score, we made a call to toScore at line 77, that's what's happening here, and that's the next call in the call stack, and that's how we got to where we were. And the cool thing is, you'll notice like this context here, this toScore here has its own local context. So you'll see variables up here. S is the score record, right? There's some information there. That is the record that I called .toScore on. But I also have R0, which I have no idea what that is. It's probably the temporary variable it's using to store this variable that's been initialized and then sent back. Yeah, so it's like return variable 0. So that's if you select this call stack. If you go up one, you'll notice it actually loads the variables in that context. So R0 is not there, none of the like S star is there, because it's all in the context of this function now. So now you have limit, which was passed in as a function parameter for this. It has its own return variables, return 1, return 2, which are these two. And it has any variable of data that we've instantiated as part of this method. So like scores, for example. So scores is here. And you can like do that throughout the call stack. So you can like see how you got there, what was the state when you made that call, like prior to you making that call. So it's really useful. Cool. What the hell was I doing? I don't know. I don't think I was doing anything particular. I think you just asked about it. Yeah. I don't think, I'm kind of curious if they have, down at the bottom they have this little breakpoint section. Can't get to it though. So you can do some really cool things with breakpoints. Yeah, no problem. I just don't know if you can do it. Yeah, you can. Okay. So you can do conditional breakpoints, which is even more ridiculously awesome. So like normally what happens when you set a breakpoint is just like, yeah, sure, I'll stop whenever I get there. Right? So like you can, so that one's not useful. I don't know why that one was here. Not that one. So like this, for example. Let's just set one down here. So this breakpoint normally would just always break, right? And anytime we would get there, it would just stop. You can do other cool things though. Like what if I only want to stop when the final limit is 10? So now it's like a conditional breakpoint. So it slows down the processing speed significantly because it has to evaluate that every time the code executes. But it makes it much easier to, like if you have a whole bunch of things going on and you're only interested in a specific state when that runs, you can do a conditional breakpoint like this. So like, oh, they don't support it. Okay, well, the debugger built into Visual Studio Code is not cool. You can do this in Golang and IntelliJ. So just for future reference. I just gotta see it not to believe it. Yeah, so it lied. Don't listen to that shit. It just straight up lied to me. It said it doesn't support it, and it worked. Oh Jesus. Anyways, so yeah, that's how that works. So you saw it broke this time, and so I can just like just do like continue, and then if I change this to like, you know, it doesn't break, right? So it clearly supports it, but they just told me that it doesn't. Whatever. So and that is why whenever somebody tells you something doesn't work, try that shit anyways. But yeah, so that's breakpoints. Honestly I didn't know about the conditional breakpoints until like 5 years into my career, and I was like, holy shit, this was a thing. I didn't know this was a thing, and it's a game changer. So if you ever do some debugging, it's where it's at. All right, I think that's it for tonight. I went over time, so I don't know if I'm gonna have time to do much else. Might play a little bit of Apex, but I think we did pretty good. Made some pretty dang good progress. We got stuff going in the database. We got stuff coming out of the database. We got query parameter, which was actually more difficult than it should have been. I imagine there's other tools that are allowed to pull that parameter out more easily. So cool. I think on that note, yeah, man, you too. On that note, I may Friday we may do some more game development and see if we can tie into this in some way. Like maybe we can issue an HTTP request to pull data from the REST endpoint or something. I think that would be cool. I'll probably try that on Friday, assuming nothing crazy comes up, and we will go from there. Oh man, ready to close on this house so I stop having to do stuff all the time. No, I haven't done PHP in a long time. I think the last time I dabbled in PHP was school, probably school, and I didn't enjoy it. I was not a fan of it. I think I did it for like some website stuff, and it was horrible. I mean, it was better than like pure HTML or anything, but it was and I guess it was also not that bad comparatively to you know, what was offered back then from a programming standpoint. I don't think there was much better than that. Maybe Python. Python was just getting started, but I don't know. It's not my cup of tea. I don't think many people like PHP, honestly. It's just like JavaScript has taken off because there's just so many frameworks available. Good frameworks at that. Supposedly. I actually don't know much about it. We use Ember at my work, with a little bit of React.
We will defeat all of our enemies.
Why, you dabbling in some PHP? It's also one of the languages that's like not highly needed. Like if you look at
Introducing your champion.
just like an area of work,
You all think you'll make it out of this alive?
like let's say web, right? Web is almost exclusively JavaScript in some form or fashion. Backend
I'm the jump master.
is all over the place.
Let's make a choice.
I mean,
Land here.
there's oh, we're gonna get absolutely demolished over here.
Dropping in. Hang on.
Yeah, backend's all over the place. I mean, there's a good bit of Java, a good bit of C#, good bit of C++. The Go's starting to catch on just because it's so damn fast. It's getting prioritized for things that. Oh, dude.
Attention. First blood.
Contact. First blood, and it's not us. Wonderful.
Round 1. Beginning ring countdown. Next ring's far.
Where did they go?
Not sure. I think someone's targeting me.
Miss. Swing and a miss, bruh. Gotcha.
Enemy.
Gotcha.
Enemy taken down.
Body
Reloading.
shield here. Level
I
2.
got one. Nothing like sniping you, no scoping with a sniper.
Getting shot at. Body shield here. Level 3.
Oh, what?
Dibs.
Need to recharge my shields.
What else? Yeah, so backend's kind of.
Making contact with enemy. Firing. Reload. Let's go this
Oh
way.
man. Kind of all over the place.
Enemy dead. Reload.
Took out an enemy.
Nice choice.
Reloading.
Reloading.
We just eliminated the whole squad.
Oh, ninja.
Exciting.
Nice choice.
This dude's pretty good. I need to get rid of the sentinel.
Medkit here. Energy ammo here. I need light ammo.
Need to recharge my shields.
Light ammo here.
I need it. Thank you.
Yeah, Go's probably one of my favorites, honestly.
The ring
I used to be a
is very
Java
close. 45
person.
seconds.
I worked on Android.
Prowler SMG here.
Contact.
Okay.
I've heard of people using Node.js professionally.
I'm taking. Voice jumping. Recharging my shields.
Using grapple.
Throwing thermite grenade.
Enemy taken down.
Hostile spotted.
Reloading. Throwing arc star. Opening fire.
Recharging shields. The ring's
This is super stressful. Sorry. Not answering questions.
I downed an enemy. Recharging my shields. Down.
reloading. Reloading. We killed the last. I got you, friend.
No!
Fire.
No, there's people everywhere. No! Oh god.
Sometimes you're
Oh man, I had like a fucking sliver of health. 4 kills, 600 damage for how freaking ridiculous that was. Anyways, whew. Yeah, so Node.js, I mean, I've heard of people using it, but I think people only use it because there's just so much talent that knows JS, like JavaScript. There's just such a pool of people that know JavaScript that they just tap into it to be able to do server work. Because once you start getting to like the number of Go developers, the number of Java developers is probably significantly higher than most other languages, but so that's probably where most like backend server work is done. But yeah, like it's pretty lightweight JavaScript stuff. I don't know. I'm not a fan of how loosey-goosey JavaScript is from a compilation standpoint, and I feel like that's more okay in the front end world, right? Am I on the same dude's team? I'm on the same dude's team.
This is your champion.
I'm ready. Are you?
That's awesome.
I'm the jump master.
Yeah, so
Let you
it's
down,
I don't know,
except
the
by falling.
not having like compile time checks and stuff just seems super sketch. You sure this wasn't the same dude? I'm gonna go back and watch this stream. I'm gonna see. Otherwise, I just look like a creeper to this guy now, I guess.
This
Whatever,
way.
we're going down, bro.
Here we go.
Copy that.
It's a long drop. Fun. Let's explore this way.
Let's explore this way.
I can't believe I got that Pathfinder, by the way, though. Like, that was the most comical
First blood.
fight that I've had in a long time. Took way longer than it should have. All right, that didn't work. You can tell I don't play this guy at all.
Beginning ring countdown.
Oh,
Line here.
Great. Already inside the ring. Body shield here. Level 1.
I need a barrel mod.
what is this? Oh. Nope, 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 nope. Thought I heard something. Is it the same dude? Okay.
Let's go this way.
Alright, we're gonna do this thing. Damn it. Damn it!
Shot a cargo bot.
Need to do that L star right now, but this,
Got a hop up here. Skull piercer.
no, I'm not about that life.
Contact with hostile.
Making contact with enemy.
Contact with target.
Reloading. Enemy
Ninja.
down.
Reloading.
He said peace. I'm out this game. Straight up ninja that kill, by the way.
Recharging my shield.
Hostile close.
He just stood there like a statue. Oh, he's about to get wrecked.
Another squad's attacking.
Focus.
Taking fire, friends.
Need some help over here.
Fellas, there's another squad.
No! Oh man. I should have ran. Oh, I still haven't got a treasure pack. Dang it. It's unfortunate. It's a separate squad in there. I didn't realize that. That was unfortunate. how many times do I need to respawn? I need to respawn 15 people. Actually, no, I didn't. I didn't. Don't quite have to do that, but still ridiculous. Gibby. Ooh, I need to do this thing. What is it? All right, let's. Decided Gibby's the best for these solo hunt situations. Can't kill the big man. Yeah, he takes less damage, and then he has an arm shield, and yeah, just general. His ult is pretty good, and his you get a yellow shield and backpack out of the start. Oh snap! His little dome shield's pretty good too. It protects you first of all, and then second of all, it speeds up healing. I didn't even think about how OP he is now. But they took away the quick healing from the gold shield, and they made it so that each like small heal heals for twice as much. But the dome shield, I think, still speeds up healing. So like those together must be super good. It's go time! Oh my goodness, look.
Peace right there.
You can tell he's here.
Get out.
Wait a second. Give me real gun. Ow! Look at this garbage trash weapon. Oh, thank God. Give me a real gun. Woo! Where you at? Ooh. I'll do this. This is good. This is good. Where you at? It makes ridiculous amounts of noise. Oh. Get on. Alright, we're going. Oh, these bounce pads everywhere is awesome. Switch my scopes on this. Wonder if I can wonder if I get damage, you know, like the daily damage or whatever. Yeah, by doing this. There's like loot everywhere. Ooh, don't mind if I do. Boom! Oh, I got duped. I will take that. Where the hell is it? Oh. I missed it. Yeah, this is something they knew they added. Oh, this is it. It's called a hunt. It's like a story-driven thing. You have stuff. Where you at? Oh! I haven't healed this whole time. This is a terrible idea. Well, I haven't healed. Haha, suckers!
Giving my shields a recharge.
Oh, snap. Oh, snap! Ah! They're everywhere! Reload! Oh my god. Oh, look! Oh, I need Pathfinder right now. Oh, sweet Jesus. Oh, I landed in a... Sweet. This is what nightmares are made of, y'all. I can't even see where they're at, so I'm just like bouncing around like a... Get me out of here. Where you at? Where you at? Oh, Jesus. It was stressful. Kind of fun though, not gonna lie. Yeah, they do it like weekly, I guess, and then you get a artifact, and then after 9 artifacts, it's pretty short. It's mainly supposed to be focused on the you know, story part. So like after this, I think there's like this part that I have to read. I guess I don't have to read. Yoko! He's missing. Sitting in a tree. Ah. Anita Williams. They really should have voice acted this. So now you have to read this. Man, it skipped a freaking thing. This happened before. I think if I hit escape, it backs up. Yeah. Yeah. So I gotta catch back up. That's what I missed. Good thing. Guess the next one I'll be saving old Octane. Pretty cool. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. See if I can get that much damage with a flatline. Oh man, usually with duos, I don't run into the problem that I had in that last game. Actually, both of those last games, where it's like getting third party like a mofo.
I cannot wait to win this match, friend.
You can have that guy. I need to do damage. Get Nox's bang, I think. 28. Flatline. Now watch. I'm not gonna be able to find a flatline for the life of me. Guaranteed.
Introducing your champion.
Better find me before I find you.
I was top ranked last match.
I'm the jump
What?
master. Ready up.
Maybe he was. Old toe sucker 69X.
After this, we should hang out.
This is a good LZ.
We're doing it.
Hold on tight. It's time to drop, shock, and rock.
Oh, that train's coming to that station. Yeah.
Copy that. With you.
Bold move, my friend.
I'm going over there.
You.
Let's check out this area.
Somebody's going on that train, and we're gonna be fighting people with purple shields. Guaranteed. Flatline. Yeah, flatline.
Attention. First blood.
First blood, and it's not us. Wonderful.
Ring countdown. Appointed.
Watch out for the new kill leader, friend.
Hey, got it. I almost forgot I needed that.
Target over there.
Probably not a good idea. Jesus.
Body shield here. Level 2.
I could use that.
That dude's probably got like gold.
Watch out for the new kill leader, friend.
I heard somebody, right? I'm just making that shit up.
Contact.
Copy that.
Looks like just one. A wraith.
Tango killed.
Good kill, friend.
He's pissed.
Got a ball.
I am taking fire, friend. Using grapple.
That's my two Pathfinders.
Enemies are shooting at me. Enemy down.
Oh.
Knockdown shield here. Level 4.
Already have one. Bruh.
Repairing.
Wait, what? Guess what I don't have? Freaking flatline. Big flatline. So in case you're curious, that's why you don't, referring back to the race situation, you don't stand in front of a door when you don't know what kind of gun the person on the other side has.
Backpack here.
You get wrecked. Because almost always, at least in my opinion, somebody has a Mastiff on the other side. And that does not bode well.
In progress.
Contact with hostile.
Oh, Jesus.
Solid copy.
Fire.
Tango spotted. Danger close.
Attention.
Double timing it. New kill leader. If you spot him.
This dude's pushing up top. Roll bold, baby. I don't have any heals. Come on, baby.
Care package being
Come on,
delivered.
climb like a little.
They usually care.
I can't hear you.
No!
Can you hear me?
Got me. I'm down.
Yeah. That was terrible. I just got demolished, bro.
I saw
That team shouldn't have won. But
Against me.
all that.
I'm absolutely terrible at like
Phoenix kid here.
the bob and weave through the dome situation. I'm almost always like on the wrong side at the wrong time. I was like, well, that was short-lived. Didn't get a flat line. That's all I wanted to do. Let's get a flat line. What are you playing? COD?
Yeah, I was leveling up some weapons. I was bashing my head against the wall in hardcore shipment.
Hardcore shipment? Like, what's that mean? Like,
Mhm.
that's different?
Your health, you have like 30 hit points instead of 100, and it's pretty much one shot hit kill
Oh no.
most of the time. So, oh my god, dude. It's trying to run through there with
Yeah.
some shotguns, and it was, yeah.
That sounds horrible.
It,
You already die super fast.
dude, I got one game. I think I started 0-12. Like, I spawned and was dead instantly, and I spawned somewhere else. Somebody was ADS, and boom, dead.
Oh, that's crazy. How do you
Like, it was
even
just a
do? How do you even do that? Like a
What, hardcore?
Yeah.
You go where the quick play, you go to filter. Yeah, at the top there's hardcore.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh no.
It was a splendid old time, let me tell you. But you get certain weapons, you know, and you're like, they're not bad, you know. You get in there, you can get some kills if you get in there with the right weapons. Especially
What are you
SMGs,
doing?
you can just run around and hit fire.
What are you playing?
I was just playing I was playing Plunder just to test out the Scar in Warzone setting.
I was playing last night. I think it was last night. I don't fucking know. I was playing with the M13 and the P90. That's pretty fun. Yeah, I've never
Yeah,
played
those-
hardcore. That
those are
sounds
two pretty
absolutely terrible.
Solid guns.
Yeah, it was going pretty good. P90 was pretty solid. Yeah, let's do some deathmatch domination real quick. Get some.
I'm wondering what changes they're gonna be making because season 4
thought it
comes
was-
out at 11 p.m. tonight.
Okay.
My
Your time? Jesus Christ. 2
time.
a.m.
Yeah.
What?
Who the hell in the U.S. is gonna be up when that comes out, dude?
Did we ever look up to see where this company's based?
No.
It's Infinity Ward, right?
Yeah. Are you looking at it? Let's see.
Yeah, I got it. I got it. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, I definitely spelt it wrong.
LA.
They are in Burbank, Boulevard, Hollywood, Woodland Hills.
Yeah. What the? What
So I feel
the?
bad for the workers who have to be there
Yeah.
to launch it and make sure it runs perfectly.
That sounds terrible.
Who knows, man? There might be a lot of them. Like, probably big dog guys in there too, just to, to launch something like that.
I don't know.
Like, I wonder who came up with the idea. It was like sitting there and be like, "Hey, I got a new idea. Let's launch this at 11 p.m. Pacific time." Like, who?
Yeah. No. No.
Oh, we're about to get a warm up for sure. We got this map.
This is super tiny for a domination. I don't think I've played one this tiny.
Good old Rusty Rust. What gun do I use? I'll try this Uzi build I have, but
I think you should be able to shoot Wyatt right now, just because.
just to test it out.
Yeah, like I want to just shoot.
Domination. Capture objectives.
Whoa,
and
whoa,
kill
whoa,
your
whoa,
enemy.
whoa, 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 lag. Okay.
Gotcha, bitch. You back, Cameron. Oh, up top. Oh, to the right. They're everywhere. Bro, this is complete madness. Oh, I shot my own dude. That was embarrassing.
Oh yeah, and it's a hardcore. There's also a friendly fire.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so imagine that.
Ha, sucker. Saw you. Dude, this is complete madness. How do you take any... Oh, that was garbage. How do you take any kind of anything? Dude, I spawned into like some kind of helicopter.
An airstrike.
Yeah. It was brutal. Alright, let's Yeah.
C4, bro.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Can't see.
I think I not died the first couple shots.
Can't even tell what's going on, bro. Everybody looks the same. Oh, dude.
Oh, this is a great spawn. Thank you.
Radar in the air. Allied
This game has the worst spawns in like Call of Duty history.
I don't even know what I got killed by. Plane or some shit.
Oh my god.
No! I don't even know where people are. This map is terrible.
Leave me alone, Jet. This thing go away already?
Dude, I'm needed everywhere. What are you talking about? This place is a shit show. I didn't even see him. Where's this person at? Like a phantom.
Just running across the top of the poles here like nothing's happened.
You're doing better than I am, man. I'm getting
And that was a
absolutely
bad idea.
wrecked. I'm not killing anybody. I can't even, like, trying to stand on a capture point is death sentence.
Oh yeah. No more peek. No more peek.
Enemy halfway there. Circle up.
Of course. Oh, Jesus. I can't even see anybody before they kill me. Come back.
I'm just gonna stay up here. But I'm gonna run out of ammo.
Friendly
Oh,
UAV
no.
overhead.
Dang it.
I need ammo.
XP90. How do you get up top? Are you up top? You're not up top.
No, not anymore. I had to get down.
No, I'm stuck.
Oh, I would love to hear your footsteps, but yeah.
What? That dude clutched it. Look at
Allied cruise missile away.
that was some clutch.
Operation for
Where would I be?
Overwatch.
No! Dagging at it.
I didn't hit anybody with that.
God, I can't even walk through. Oh, that's our my buddy. Oh, I'm gonna get demolished on this ladder. This ladder's a death trap.
Dude, I've had this fly in my room this whole time that will not leave me alone.
Can't see here.
What?
Man, I walk around down there and I get absolutely lasered because there's people everywhere. I get up top finally, and I don't see anybody. Did everybody leave?
No. Everybody just always goes to the same spot to the map.
Securing Bravo.
Protect themselves from the top, and I just don't know that route. Because that's what it feels
Oh,
like.
I whiffed.
This is trash. This spot up here is no good. I'm like standing like a...
Oh my god. Okay, you pre-fired me.
Allied cluster strike inbound.
Like a fly, off of me.
I'm gonna get demolished here.
Right, dude. Just blow your whole clip.
No, I saw him. It's too late. It was happening.
I just let myself in the fire because it's fly. It's the second time I've done it today.
It's the fly swatter, bro.
I slapped myself with that, huh?
Yeah. You jerk. We got
For
wrecked.
RTV, move out.
We got wrecked.
Flies know how to be a real annoyance.
Let's see. What's my day look like tomorrow? Oh man, I got nothing. This is great.
37 and 17.
Who got 30? Did you get 37, 17?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. I was getting demolished. No, thank you. Do you want to do gun whatever or do this again?
We can do gunfight, whatever you want to do. This freaking fly, dude. Oh my gosh. Jeez, really? Just leave me alone.
Oh man. So I can completely understand why nobody wants to move. You know how annoying it is to orchestrate a purchase of a house and a sale of a house? It's very annoying.
Dude, when I had an offer in a house a couple years ago, it was like enough. I could imagine then adding.
Yeah, they're like, okay, your
Listing
closing
it.
date is, you know, like August 3rd. It's like, okay, cool. And then it's like, it depends on how, like, if you get an offer, if they want 30-day closing, we will have no house for 2 weeks. And you could try to push it out, but what if they don't want to push it out? Like, then you're effed. It's like, this is, and then like, if you wait too long, they'll be like, 30-day closing will go past yours, and you end up paying for 2 houses.
Eliminate all enemies or capture the
It's,
overtime flag to win.
That'll be great, huh?
It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff.
What was the good scenario in that?
There is no, the good scenario, I don't know.
Give 'em a
I'm like,
proper
there's no situation.
Dude, I had 2 bullets. Trying to go literally nowhere.
Making us fight for it. Keep
Wait,
at
what?
'em.
There's no way, dude.
He just got his shot off before mine. I don't know.
Those 2 shots, oh my god, I was on him and I got crickets.
Wait, what?
One round gone. We're not dead yet, are we,
Dude,
lads?
he did straight juke to me.
Dude, fuck, no.
Wait,
Oh my
what?
God.
Move up fire. Go.
What is that garbage? One's laying on the ground. Wow.
Well, apparently this gun does not reach back there.
I got flashed left.
One coming in front of us right here.
I don't even, one's pushing left.
One round gone. We're not dead yet,
How
are we?
are his freaking... How are his hitting, but mine aren't?
I don't know.
Dude,
Did you run
these
out of
guys have,
ammo?
Like a freaking... Yeah, I had 1 shot when he ran around one time.
Man, these guns are trash, bro.
Forget that
Dude,
round.
this-
On to the next.
Dude, I swear, like, these guys have the favor in this. I have 80 freaking 90 ping.
Move up fire. Go.
Oh man, what is going on right now?
Dude,
You have like 80 to 90.
dude, how does it... Dude, I'm about to flip. He's on the six in the back, right in front of him.
One round gone. We're not dead yet, are we, lads?
Dude,
I literally hit this one guy 6 times. 6. I just throw this game in the trash.
he-
This-
he clutched
obviously
that
they just feel
shit.
Like they have some
We're
sort
on
of
match
advantage
point.
here or
We're gonna
something.
lead the scores.
that's how I feel every game I play.
They're hurt.
Got him.
Send them home.
I just, you know, was covering the
On
other
top of
side.
it, dude, this
They win this,
stupid
they win it
ass
all.
fly
Time to push.
is flying off my glasses.
He's right. Going mid.
Oh, he went to the back. What
That's it. We've lost the objective.
ran? I don't know where. Whatever.
This gun is a PP blower.
The first 4 games was just complete BS.
Hey, good game, guys. Good game.
Just from the
you
first
guys
game,
have a good
I
day.
literally. I'm not saying I would have should have killed that guy, but I got no hit markers.
That Magnum gun felt like I was shooting nothing. It was like shooting air bullets.
I had snake shots on it, so I was like. I think it
Oh,
was
is that why? I was like, dude, I'm not
Yeah,
hitting
listen,
nothing. Things
there was
like,
no range on it, but they're up close.
It's like- I was like, I feel like it's right on him, but man, that shit ain't going nowhere.
You'll see what I mean.
What the fuck?
Don't alligator.
These game servers is gonna be.
Oh, these people are so crazy.
Fuck it. Budapest.
Cameron, you there?
My eyes in
Yes,
Budapest.
am I-
My
No, you're not in this
chest,
game right now.
Treasure chest. Golden grand
Oh,
piano.
no, I'm
my
not.
beautiful
I'm still at the
Castillo.
main screen here.
Oh, it filled me in with some other dude.
boys, good luck.
What happened?
I don't know.
Man, I want to be talking today. Hey.
Alrighty then.
I don't even know what the hell's going on right now. They kick you out?
But it just like I don't know. They did something. I don't know if it kicked me, but all of a sudden I don't know. I was still on the screen. You were gone, I guess. So.
Eliminate all enemies or capture the overtime flag to win.
So I'm just gonna watch you.
Alright.
Luck. We're gonna do great.
This dude is confidence builder. I don't even know what my
What?
Get wrecked.
Oh, I did absolutely nothing. Nice.
That Odin, that gun's freaking strong.
Bop 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 bop. Bop 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 bop. Get wrecked.
Twitch changed their layout or something a little bit. They updated something. It's cool.
What the? Fuck.
I think I'm on fire? How do I know? How do you get lasered? I don't even know where he got lasered from.
Dude.
Get wrecked.
Oh man.
Keep up the pressure.
Oh man.
Oh
Freaking nice,
man.
dude.
Head in, stay frosty.
Sorry, I'm not helping too much.
I saw you. No! I knew it was coming.
What the?
On to the
Oh
next
my
round.
god.
Pick it up.
Yeah.
Teammate got a kill yet?
Nah.
Stop in that damn hell.
He's just dying. Just dying.
This
Kid.
game, bro. Wish this game was in hardcore mode because it's so much fucking better.
I don't know about that.
It's down to you. Get it done.
Pussy hole.
Oh no no no!
On to the next
Wait,
round.
he like
Pick it up.
straight ninja. He said, "Where did he? How?"
Oh, man.
I heard his footsteps. I just I hadn't calibrated yet. I was too busy shooting this dude.
Let's get this done.
Oh, God, what trash.
Oh man, that's the only.
Put it behind you. We got work to do.
Wait, did my buddy leave me?
Nah, he was talking, or is he gone?
He's
Did he
gone
really leave?
now, bro. Alright, I'm leaving then. Ain't no point in that.
Alright. Don't know what happened, but here I am.
We're back.
I'm just not gonna touch anything. Ooh, this one, huh?
Cargo.
Two friends, Fat Roach and Fat Sesh. It should go well.
I don't like this one. I don't like. Ah, damn it.
Eliminate
They
all
give us the
enemies or capture
stupidest
overtime
blueprints
flag to win.
possible.
What? Do they do a version of this where you get to pick your loadout?
Show them what
Nah.
One
Oh, this
right.
gun shoots really slow.
No, I barely
Raise your
saw him.
weapon. We're not
I
finished
point
yet.
blank that dude right in the face. Yeah, these guys aren't terribly out of our caliber.
And dude, should have lost to the first guy.
I'm running right.
In that one shot. The other guy went up left. He's behind me.
We
Get
have
him.
the advantage. Keep pushing.
We have the advantage. Oh, clutch positioning right there, though.
Just no hip. I said screw the aiming.
Go.
What the heck?
What is this?
Is there a shotgun barrel? What's under here?
One went up left. One's bottom left. There you go.
2 wins down. Keep up the pressure.
I like this gun. What is this thing?
This is the Odin.
Ah,
The old Odin. So I'm not using that very zoomed in scope though. One's up.
oh wow. Okay.
If you can
Okay.
stand,
Okay.
you can
My
fight.
dumbass just
Get
sat
ready.
there in the open, trying to win the stairs. But
I was too, dude. Look at me, guys. Just like full body, bro. Just...
Weapons ready. Move in.
All right, I'm going right.
how do I get in there? What the
Raise your weapon. We're not
What'd you say?
finished yet.
I haven't. See, I should have gone in there. Just.
left. He should be under that blue container. He's in. He moved. He's in the back by spawn.
No one else. Quick position. 10 seconds.
Gotcha.
What? The advantage. Keep pushing.
He said, "What?"
Ooh.
Forward.
What do you mean?
No mercy.
God.
Oh, what? There's one left. One's back. He's
Grenade.
he was busy throwing a grenade at me. Grenade replays are the best.
He just like looks at him.
Yeah. There's somebody back there. They hit me.
He's up top on the stairs, left. He jumped down.
Oh, he got me.
Oh,
Take a breath. We're going back in.
Oh. Right in the kneecaps.
No mistakes. No prisoners.
Ooh, shoddy. Shoddy.
one's up top. Left, right, I mean, sorry.
He's on me. I think I hit him. Yeah.
Sarah, stay hungry. There's more where that came from.
He turned and. Jeez. Oh, that was his whole body.
Badass, bro.
This is
Look at
match
that whole
point.
body.
One more win to go.
Left, I hear. I think. Yeah, I got one, but I tapped him. Just did a little.
Did this dude crouch walk? I swear he better have. No, he wasn't.
he just
He's freaking
jumped.
sprinting. Full freaking speed.
Switching sides.
Heard nothing.
Alright, bro.
The slowest tide.
Holy
handgun,
crap,
why
dude.
a handgun?
Back to this stupid gun again.
Both left. I got one.
Dead. One shot.
Right. Got him.
Jesus!
Nice.
It's finished. We have done it.
Oof, man. But the one we played yesterday too, the first one we got freaking just ran through.
Yeah.
And then the first one today was the same thing.
It's like a level setting. It's like a level setting match.
Matchmaking. Yeah, like what?
Yeah.
These guys suck. We need to put them back.
Yeah, bump these guys back down. Put them back in their place.
Ooh, this little map, huh? This map is pretty small. This is a new one.
No. What's a new one? This map?
This is the newest. Yeah. Oh, are you there still? Okay.
It's like, yeah, I just went to look at weapons. Did I leave?
And I saw you disappear, and I'm like, uh-oh.
But yeah, I don't know what. There is no ideal situation for the house situation. Like it's either you sell the house early, and you have to figure out what you do until you get the other house, or you have to float two mortgages essentially. I mean, it may not be long, right? Like maybe a week or a couple days or
Yeah.
something, but still, it's like then you are forced to have the down payment in cash, which is fine, but not ideal.
You still have that other apartment?
Yeah,
Somebody in it?
yeah,
Just kick them out.
yeah, they're leasing it.
Gunfight.
What the
I
hell?
need it.
Eliminate
Oh,
all
this is ship,
enemies or capture
basically?
the overtime flag to win.
Yeah, it is shipment.
Oh no.
I'm just going
Sweep it
straight
clear.
up.
Move.
Dude,
Take
Wow,
a breath.
that
oh,
was
you
cool.
got that guy that killed me. He freaking midair. Look at this dude.
Yeah. I got bamboozled.
Pistol with a sniper scope kind of thing on it. Like what? I never even saw this guy peek.
The left. Fight for time. Their
got me
confidence
that one.
grows. Use it against them.
Oh my! Look at my lady. 109.
Got working the
Some
internets,
down.
bro.
Go.
Well, it might be off of your host too, though. There's one coming
Okay.
right.
One right here on the ground.
We
Nice.
have
Wrecked,
the
bitches.
advantage. Keep pushing.
Get wrecked. Oh, get. Oh man, they got laser through the.
These guys are running around a little bit too comfortable right now.
Up top. Up top. What the? I didn't even know you could jump over that.
Dude, where did
Their
like
confidence grows. Use it against them.
You can jump over?
Yeah.
He straight jumped over my head.
No mistakes. No prisoners.
No mistakes. No prisoners.
Yeah, dude, mine was like these dudes like seeing me before I'm like out. He heard me too.
One round
I just straight up kept firing. Not a care in the world, bro. I knew he was gonna charge me. Oh, there's one up top too.
Like one shot.
I got laser from both. Mm.
Their confidence grows. Use it against them.
Got you right in the booty.
Move to engage.
A shotty and a marksman. This is. I have a feeling. Yeah, somebody. Somebody just died. Wait, what? Did he no scope me with that? Oh no, he switched to shotty.
Dude.
Raise your weapon. We're
Yeah,
not
these guys
finished
are
yet.
pretty good. Pretty good. That dude jumped over my head and shot me, and I mean, I had no chance.
Shit. They're on match point. We can't take another loss.
Got one.
He's right in the back. Probably in the middle now, running around on the left.
Yeah, he's right. Come towards me. Jesus Christ. He was just sitting there. He heard me. Oh, get wrecked.
That is the way. On to the next round.
These guys are very gung-ho about the jump situation, like jump and shoot at you type shit.
Yeah.
This is gonna be brutal for me, probably.
Damn it, dude. Where are these shots going? Dude. Pissed me off today.
Get wrecked.
The issue is I was playing hardcore shipment and I'm already, I was taking from that already.
Right to the noggin.
Давай, they're on match
I hate this
point.
gun.
We must even the score.
Dude, I'm always horrible at pistols, man. These dudes like to go.
One on my side.
Why did that blow up so quick?
Oh.
Find your courage. Victory will come.
Hi guys, I don't even know how this guy saw me, but
I must have like no health. That was brutal. Oh man.
that irritates me more when it was one guy. But one guy went 9 and 4. The other guy was still got the kill 7 and 8, but still.
Yeah. 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 I love this mode though. It's really fun.
The gulag showers.
Ooh. Just kidding. Bizarre.
The gulag showers.
It's not the gulag showers anymore. Does it change?
Did it switch? Could have.
Yeah, it's bizarre now. So the painter dude finished painting all the trim and everything down in the basement. Took him 2 full-blown days.
Gunfight.
I am so glad I did
All
not do
enemies
that
or
myself.
Capture the overtime flag to win.
It would have taken me
really?
2 weeks.
It's always like so much easier to have somebody do it, right? But it's like cost more though.
Sweep and clear.
Yeah.
Move.
Sometimes it's like, well, the money's worth it.
Somebody left.
Dude, I'm just
Oh, you ready?
off.
You are the last man standing.
Oh,
Stay hungry. There's more where that came from.
Dude, this mouse is tripping.
Somebody's on me. I got him. Oh, clutch that one. Just turned around. You had no idea.
Just running.
Yeah, I was reloading.
Show them what we do.
Yeah, this mouse is. Oh god, dude, come on.
Dude.
Dude.
He's right, dude. He's.
Where?
He was on the right side or left. Sorry. On the stairs on his left side, but.
Oh, that was dumb. That was so dumb.
Stand, you can fight. Get ready.
So dumb. So dumb, dumb, dumb. Yeah, I should have been doing that. I didn't realize I had a smoke grenade. I thought it was a bang. Flashbang. One went right. That dude.
Oh my gosh.
One's bottom. Got him.
Have the advantage.
Dude, my freaking mouse keeps my right one. I'm holding down the ADS and it's like I'm ADSing and an ADS is on its own while the mouse button is held down.
Weapons ready. Move in.
That's weird. Oh, this is gonna suck.
Oh my god, it's this gun. Hey,
One
I got
went
the kill
left.
finally.
I can't hit my shot.
2 wins down. Keep up
This
the
dude
fight.
is getting so pissed. It's always the same guy. I think it's the same guy that keeps popping, like peeking his head up every time.
Oh man.
He's so pissed. They may have both gone left. I didn't see one.
I got one left. The other one's top right. Coming back behind you.
Oh,
Sorry,
he's
I
mad.
said-
Oh, dude, look at this.
Keep fighting.
Oh, he's so mad.
Switching sides.
Oh man.
Didn't he?
Match point. One more win to go.
I'm just gonna try the middle. I don't even care. He's mad. He's behind me. He's just. Just did all the work.
We are.
What is wrong with this mouse, dude? I heard stuff about Logitech mouses too. They do this.
10-1, bro. Dude, these guys are terrible, or I was just doing good. I don't know.
Nah, you were doing
I don't know. I haven't had any problems with mine. Also, maybe I
I
upgraded
know
now.
sometimes like
You have the
my mouse does
703
double
or?
click sometimes. Yeah, I got the 703. Even the last one, I'll do things like single click it, but it acts like I've double clicked in one press.
I have had that.
But just right now, the right button ADS thing is just started right now.
Dr. Uninstall. That's so true.
That's funny. It is true. I thought he was gonna uninstall this game today. He was getting so pissed off.
Was he playing? This one?
He was, yeah. He was just playing Warzone. He was getting pissed. Come on, Fly. Just go. Oh my god, dude. Ooh.
Ooh, I got lit.
Take it back.
Think I got killed. Did I get killed by a grenade or no? I think they got me. Oh, that was solid. Dr. Uninstall done got me.
Maybe it's him. Second up count. It's going right.
1 or 2?
I saw 1. Dude, I can't hit a shot with this thing. Killed him with a grenade. 1's left. I just concussed him left.
Yep, I didn't do anything. I don't think I saw. I don't even think I saw one. It's crazy to me that you have to hit them twice with that gun.
Yeah, unless it's a headshot.
There's one back.
Literally 1 shot. He's on the right.
Oh, what?
We're losing ground. Take it back.
That was cool. It's your boy Paul.
He's like right in front of me.
I hit somebody.
Took that round.
I just randomly threw a grenade and I think I hit someone. Yeah.
Over there. Got him.
Just threw it.
Jackal.
I had no idea where he was.
Shotgun, man.
Go on left. Ah! He's coming towards me. Where I was.
What the
They're making us fight for the win. So be it.
I wouldn't have won that, but how did I not kill this? I hit him 3 times. This game has just a random damage numbers, dude.
One's mid.
Yeah,
Took that round. Pick another.
See, it's I just waited.
Lay them on.
Oh, P90. Oh shit, I got lit up, bro.
Dude, what? Oh my god, dude.
Wait, what?
We hunt as a team, or we die.
I guess he didn't even get flashed. That was garbage. Alright, I'm going right. It's garbage. Garbage to the left. I never survive over there.
God, how I won that fight, I don't even know.
I didn't even see him. He's right outside of the container. Oh, he did it! Yeah.
How did that not kill me?
Ten seconds. Take it. Enemy
That's a good, good random shot of fires there. Is that?
Yeah.
Switching sides.
Switching sides.
We're down on match point.
Dang
Need a win.
it. This is not looking good for us. It's one mid rightish.
There's one right on the blue, outside of the blue container, left side.
There's one right here on the black tube. Got him.
Round is ours. Good work.
Dude, what? Wow. How'd you miss that second to the last shot? You're right, he's right in front of your face.
Can't take another loss.
Like what?
One back left.
The one's the other one, right?
I was dumb. I thought I saw one go into the container, but I was wrong.
God, I don't even hear this guy right behind me.
See, I'm an idiot. I was in there like, I thought he ran through, and I'm not at all. Wasn't even in there at all.
Hey, get shit on.
Jesus. Get shit on us when you do like 6-0. Needs to.
Yeah,
needs to-
nobody was impressed.
Yeah.
Especially when there were some fights that just clearly they had some advantage, I guess.
Yeah. You streaming right now?
Yep.
Yep.
Yes, I am. It is getting to that time now.
Gunfight. Eliminate all enemies or capture the overtime flag to win.
It's a secondary gun. It's a pistol. I'd rather just run up on them with the pistol. If they can just hit it, if they just hit a good shot with the sniper, then that's to them.
Show them what we do.
One went left. Where are they at?
No way. You've
He
This
was
dude
the
really
last.
just
Fight or
tell me
die.
they didn't just swap and hit fire me with the sniper.
What?
Sure did.
We're
You,
not done yet. Make it happen.
what a joke. Meanwhile, this dude was in front of me with the pistol, and I missed. It hit fire. Who knows where? Get up.
He was the last. Fight or die.
Didn't know they could see me there. Somebody's gonna scare the shit out of me. Is the flag in the middle?
I don't know. I've never played this map on Gunfight. I would assume it is.
Go. We're not
I
done
heard
yet.
one
Make it
footstep.
happen.
Yeah, I didn't. I heard more gunshot. He was right next to me.
Unless she was
No
just sitting there
mistakes, no
beforehand.
prisoners.
First thing I heard was gunshots.
Right side. He called me out.
That is the
I was
way.
just,
On to
here.
the next round.
Moral support. You get it.
I'm getting real aggravated.
we won though.
Real aggravated, bro. I know. I'm just from the all day from playing this game.
Somebody's here. Left. Somebody's up top.
Oh.
What? Good job.
Who wins down? Keep up the pressure.
Does it keep up the pressure?
Last bullet in the chamber. Oh, good thing I hit it.
Kill them all or die trying.
One's right. He's running back to their spawn.
Seconds.
How the fuck?
Objective in play. Go after it.
Come on, bro.
You have to get it because you have less health.
We
Oh.
held our own, but we're bleeding for it. Fall back.
Where's the timer? Was there a timer anywhere?
Yeah, it's right. It's right kind of where this countdown thing is.
What?
Up by the scoreboard.
Wow.
What the how many?
Where I got laid out, bro.
No, great.
10 seconds.
They just like sit in a little crevice.
This dude's just sitting back, bro.
Prepare to fight.
These games tonight.
See? Look, he's just chilling right there, man. Maybe that's what we need to do. I'm gonna go like find a hole.
No mercy.
Is this a like quick assault rifle or is it like a marksman
I'm not sure
type?
what this is. No, it looks like an M13. It's an assault rifle.
Feels like they're above me.
10 seconds.
Wait, how the fuck? Oh, that's how. Okay, that makes sense. Like I came around the corner and he like immediately killed me.
We're taking it.
Get wrecked.
Maintain pressure. Next round we crush them.
I'm not doing very well.
We can't ever get a game where like we're both doing good. It's always one or the other.
Hey, I got one. Up top. Running left.
Yeah, I don't see him from where I'm at. Oh, that's you. If you were the enemy, you'd have been dead. Very back spawn behind the boxes in the smoke. Running back, right behind you.
Who wins down? Keep Keep up the pressure.
Oh my god. Spraying and praying, my friend. Couldn't see
Show them what
when
we
I
do.
first came into that. Smoke. Where you at? Oh, you're up top.
Objective on the field. 3 up, 3 down.
You got him. Bop bop. Bop bop. Bop bop.
They've almost had it. One more round.
Dang it. Stupid shoddy. Is this like a double pump? Is it just like super fast double pump? Just pow pow. I can't hear you if you're talking.
Oh, did I mute? Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Get ready.
Dude, this
That one's right.
I got one shot on her. She's down. Nice. That dude was pissed.
This is who we are.
No scope in that junk.
You should see me on my stream, dude. I got my iPad sitting here playing it. Because of the fly.
Oh man.
Oh my god. I'm all shaking my head like I got a freaking. Oh my goodness, dude.
I didn't even think about that. Alright, one more for me and then I'm going to bed.
Yeah, this will be it. Oh my god.
You got fly swatter, bro? Dude, it's fly season around
I
here
don't
for
know.
sure.
Should. But, like he'll land like on me and won't, and I try to get up to go walk out the door, and he like flies away. I'm like, you stupid little freaking fly, man. Oh, this one. This is the one we got to end it on.
No. We should just leave. Let's just leave and start over. This is not
We'll just see
gonna...
how the first one goes.
Yeah. If we get demolished in like half a second.
Eliminate
What do they
all
let it
enemies
give
or
us?
Capture the overtime
How
flag
is
to
this?
win.
Oh, it's a striker. It's an SMG.
Alright,
It's a
alright.
2-round burst. I
Wait.
can tell by the ammo count. Powerful 2-round burst
Move your ass.
ammo.
Somebody's
And I missed my shots. Good God.
There's like 4 or 5. Okay,
Forget
he
that
got,
round. On to the next.
It's an interesting gun.
Yeah, that's not the stock ammo though. That's a. Just hide in the corner. Come on, just
Got one.
Kobe. Or not.
The hell?
I don't know. I just.
There's smoke on
smoke
right.
over there.
You see that smoke?
Yeah.
10 seconds.
Alright, I guess let's push together. Oh, he's middle. I no scoped.
Taking the advantage.
Yeah, I agree, my man. What is right? Look at
said
this.
so
I didn't even aim down sight, bro. You just got unlucky.
Let's get this done.
Oh, what the?
What the hell is this ugly thing? There's one right.
Hi.
Yeah, you get the one in the.
God, stop. What did you stop for? He called me out. And it flies on my nose again.
seconds.
I don't see this dude, man. I can see. Oh, he's far. He's right.
Objective on the field. Go get it.
Dude, I was missing every freaking shot with that gun. Oh my gosh. I
Correct.
didn't even know we had those.
The executioner.
Wait, that wasn't a headshot? Let's see if he ran on me. Didn't hear anything.
You're all
Oh, he
we've got.
crouched.
Keep moving.
You know, he took off and started a sprint.
10 seconds.
I started my dog to make better audio.
Objective on the field. Go get it.
Wait, what?
I was gonna say just
One round
stay
gone.
alive. You
Not
had more
dead yet,
health.
are we, lads?
Wait.
Oh, his guns weren't even out. Yeah, that's good mechanic.
Get this done.
Stupid ass game.
He. What?
This dude literally sprinted at me. I didn't hear him. There's grass, dirt. You mean tell me you can't hear anything?
Ah, there's somebody to the right. I was stuck in a garbage situation.
No.
10 seconds.
Not even looking at me?
That's the way. On to the
I
next
don't know how we
round.
won that, bro. These guys are terrible.
Normal.
Shoddy. Shoddy McShoddy.
You know, so none of us used it. Everybody put out their pistols.
Oh, the guy who killed me
Thank
is a
you, John.
shoddy.
I can hear your footsteps.
Oh, I just ran right into that thing.
One's all right.
He ran right past me, bro. What?
We're losing ground. Let's take it back.
What?
And like I know that like they got season 4 coming out. They're not gonna fix anything. Like at this point, I'd rather not release any content.
All right, lads, get in.
Fix the audio. It's freaking horrid.
Why is this even an option? It's garbage. There's one on left.
Yeah, okay, dude.
Yeah, okay, dude. Yeah, okay.
That's it, lads. On to the next round. Get ready.
The one guy's 0-6. Dude, how are they even? How is it even 4-3?
I don't know, man. He's like the baiter. There's one right.
I get shot once, bro.
Pull him back.
One's running at you.
10 seconds.
She's one shot right in front of you under the rock.
Objective on the field. Go get it.
I jumped over him.
I am at.
Keep up the pressure.
Well, I mean, you were gonna either kill him or I was capturing the flags.
See, I jumped over. I was like, he's not behind this rock, dude. What are you talking about?
Switching sides.
Look how shit he's in that corner.
Match point. Take this, we
Ooh.
take it all.
This is probably purple tracers. It's nice and pretty.
Let's see. Wait, what? You got me in the noggin with that one.
Burst.
It's a 2-round burst? Oh no. Nice.
That gave him
A
something to
3-round
think about.
burst. It was
Good
like an
work.
M16 pretty much. have been nice if it
That
would have
dude's
said that
0 and
somewhere, so you
8.
just- Yeah.
Like, bruh.
I don't know. I don't know what happened to these crap
Ooh,
guns.
bagel.
Getting out of this game.
I don't even
Ow.
have these fucking.
I don't know what happened to these crap guns. And
Man,
dang,
we
dang,
can't
dang,
do
dang,
that.
dang.
No, but we don't even. We don't shoot these kind of guns.
Shoot.
Oh man, that's funny.
All right, man. I'm heading to bed.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. We got there.
Yeah, we got some wins.
Yeah. Way more wins than we do when we play Apex, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's true. But that is Apex. So.
Yep. All right, man. Have a good night. I'll talk to you later.
All right, you too, man. Take it easy.
Peace.
Later.
Oh man, I forgot to switch to the game. Oh well. It is what it is. Yeah. So I'm out for tonight. I'll be back Friday probably trying to integrate that app API server at least a little bit with Unity to see how you could potentially use that if you wanted. And yeah, we'll go from there. But have a good night. Thanks y'all for joining me, and I will see you Friday. See ya.